Hi guys, welcome back. This is episode 6 of Supper Surfing and I'm here with Derek Sarno, aka the Mushroom King. And he is going to be cooking up some mushrooms for us today. What are we having?
We're getting some lion's mane mushrooms. So I've been getting these from Marvelous Mushrooms, these amazing kits, and growing them myself. If you see, I mean, we've worked together long enough. You know how much I love mushrooms. So we're going to make some skewers. So I want to play with the different marinade for this. We're going to tear them apart and make some skewers and then pop them on the grill.
I can't wait.
And then this is the first flush. So it's the first one. It's just...
It looks a bit like cauliflower.
I know, right?
You know how it like cuts
from
the
though. It smells so good.
Oh my god, wow. The texture's just crazy.
It's crazy, right? I'm going to show you. I already got most of it done, so we're going to do peppers. I'll add some peppers to the skewer, but first I want to make the marinade. So if you add this to the bowl.
And what is this?
This is beet powder.
Wow.
All of it, yep. And then you can add the rest of this. This is ginger. This is garlic, and what I did with it was I put lime juice in it.
Oh,
so
nice.
It helps cook it a little bit so it's not so sharp.
Okay.
Flavor. So that's going to go in here as well. And I'm going to add a little bit of agave and soy sauce.
Where'd you get beetroot powder from?
There's a store in the center up there. You can order it online, or you can use regular beets.
Yep.
If you want to use just beet juice, but the beet powder I find I can keep and not have to keep going to the store for.
Yep.
The reason I add beet powder is because I want that blood-ish look.
Oh, that's what it does.
But it also has like tons of minerals and flavor, you know, and protein. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah.
So you can see the color already. It's super like...
It kind of does look a bit like blood.
It does. It does. It does. And it's really strong right now, so I'm going to add a little bit of water. Yeah. Just to lighten it up. But before I do that, I just want to take these and we're going to roll them around in it because we want to skewer it. So I'm just going to add a little bit of water to this. So this is boiling water. Just a little bit. It's crazy, right?
Yeah.
It smells super good.
It does. It smells really nice.
Super gingery. So these, I'm just squeezing because I want the color to go within it. This is going to be great. Right,
wow, that noise.
I'm just going to squeeze the juice out of it and then add it. Ooh, careful. I don't want to get it all over your shirt.
I'm definitely going to leave this bit to you.
Now we're going to skewer these. Let me lead you off. So
I'm going to watch you first.
We'll do two peppers.
2 peppers.
And then skewer that like that.
That looks beautiful.
So there's no fat in mushrooms, and we haven't added any fat at all yet. So I'm just going to make the same marinade. Adding a little bit of oil.
By 1.
A little bit of black pepper.
So you want to drizzle that all over this now?
Yeah, a little bit.
And I guess the agave on it will make it sticky, right?
Make it sticky and sweet, and also counteract the lime juice and the ginger.
And for people that can't get hold of lion's mane necessarily, what mushroom would you say would be a good alternative that's like easy, accessible to make this?
You can use any mushroom for this, actually. You could use buttons, you could use chestnut, you could use kings, you could use any kind of mushroom you want. The ones that aren't brown are likely to take the marinade a little bit easier. But if you use buttons, then I would let them sit for a little bit longer because it's gonna be harder to penetrate. Right. Whereas lion's mane are so much like a sponge, so it soaks it right up.
I need one of these barbecues so bad. What have we got in the garden of Derek?
In the garden, I just planted some chives here. I've had Alessandro from Spicy Mustache come over and he helped me do it a little bit.
Nice.
So I just planted some chives here. I got some kale, but the slugs are eating this one.
Oh no, you just got like a little cover or something.
I know, for this particular one. I did have kale here last year, and I got some more kale over there that's doing really well.
Nice.
But then some fresh parsley.
Yum. Always good for pasta dishes.
Yeah, and then I have some garlic chives.
Ooh.
And some regular chives with some chive blossoms that are just starting to go now.
So cute.
A little bit too old. And then some peas and carrots. And over here I get some really crappy basil. And then some carrots are coming up too, and then there's a little tiny tomato.
Oh my gosh!
Touch it. Lavender, super nice.
Oh.
The sage is popping off.
Oh my god, the sage is going crazy. Yeah. God.
The bumblebees love this thyme. This is just regular thyme, which I use a lot of, so I consider it a chef's garden, you know.
Yeah,
All the herbs. I have some rosemary here, some more lemon thyme. We have mint, oregano, some flowers.
Some flowers, I love it.
Flowers. So traditional barbecue served with white bread. So I'm going to use this super squishy, just regular hamburger bun. Right? And I made earlier. This is the barbecue tofu. So this is like amazing.
Derek, this looks unbelievable, like outrageously good. I love this little bit. You can tell you're a chef. Like, this is outrageous.
Oh, thanks.
You don't do things by halves.
No. No. You have your barbecue tofu, so that was slow roasted. I did it all morning. I got up early. I love doing it, so I'm not asking for sympathy.
Did it all morning for you.
I did it all morning. But I really particularly am fond of this recipe. I've just been playing with it a lot lately. And then that's served with the pickles and the onions on the soft, squishy, just generic white bread, which I think is the best for burgers and pulled barbecue things. And then you have your skewered lion's mane that we marinated, that we just did. And then we have the grilled and smoky coleslaw with the Asian flair. And then your fresh asparagus, fresh parsley from the garden, some cherry tomatoes, and and some toasted barley. So toasted barley salad. Yeah, enjoy. Super good.
Unreal.
Right? It's like super meaty, like almost. Some people think it's too meaty.
It's so meaty. Yeah, I can imagine some vegans being like,
yeah, what is
I
that?
can't.
But it's a mushroom.
Yeah, I mean, look at that texture. Like, it's outrageous. And the colour of it and the char from the barbecue, it's just insane. Izzy is behind the camera, so excuse me. If it's wobbly, I promise not to drop it, Sam.
It doesn't taste like a mushroom.
It's so meaty.
It's crazy, right?
So we're going to do something a little bit different this episode. We're going to enjoy the food first because there's so much of it and we just want to chill out and eat. And then we're going to get into the conversation. We're going to grill Derek like he grilled these mushrooms afterwards. That food was absolutely insane. I feel so full though. I just kept going. I just kept eating. I was like, I'm not giving up. It's so good.
The more mushrooms, the better. The more people that know how to make them, and then I want to drive the demand so retailers start selling them.
That's the thing as well,
they
yeah.
can't be like priced out of the crazy, you know. But when you go over to Asia, because I've traveled quite a bit in Asia, you go to Thailand, China, all those countries have amazing mushroom selections.
Why do you think we don't? Do we just not grow them here as much?
They don't grow them here as much, but also people just don't know what to do with them. You literally go to Asia and there's very few white button mushrooms. They're more like shimijis or enokis, or they're the longer ones, not necessarily the button mushrooms we know.
Enoki are those ones that have loads of ones growing off one base, aren't they?
Yeah.
What would you say the best mushroom to cook with is, and what would you advise is the best way to cook it? Is it like searing it like what you do? Is it putting in a pasta?
I will start to do more of the basic ones because people are asking that a lot. But I just love the lion's mane and I love the oyster mushrooms, and I've been cooking these ones for over a decade. And now everybody's doing it on socials. I see everybody's doing it, so I feel good about that. That's cool.
I mean, obviously we've been working with each other for a really long time.
Yeah.
It started at Tesco. Got put in procurement, but it wasn't really where I wanted to be. So I reached out to you, I think, on my first day and said, will you kind of be my mentor?
Yeah, and you said you were vegan, and I really, nobody else was vegan that I knew of.
No, and then I just worked away at you for about a year.
Yeah, it was awesome. I think it was great.
So obviously I know a lot about you and your vegan journey,
Yes,
but for the people that don't, I'd love to just chat a little bit around your story of how you found veganism and your journey with that, really.
My brother's been vegan forever, Chad.
Yep.
And he's been vegan like as far as I can remember back when. And I used to give him a hard time all the time for it because I was a regular chef. I owned my own businesses back, we're talking back in 98. But I had regular restaurants and he was always like, oh, you gotta go vegan. I'm like, get that crap out of my face. I don't wanna do that, This is what sells, this is what tastes good, heavy cream, butters, meat, bacon, all that stuff. But the reason why I went vegan was, long and short of it is, my fiance was killed in a car accident. And when that happened, my life just totally changed. And it was such it'll be 16 years this July. And so when that happened, it was like nothing I'd ever experienced before. I've experienced the loss of people, but to lose your partner is such an entirely different I don't wish it upon anybody. But I ended up going to a Tibetan Buddhist monastery and I ended up living there for 3 years and gave my restaurants, I sold them and then just lived there and practiced meditation and learned from like really amazing teachers. And this connection was made of like everything. And when I say everybody, I mean animals, bugs, everything, mostly animals, people. We all have feelings and emotions and we all feel pain and happiness. And it's just super important to understand, like when you can put yourself and you can open your mind to actually put yourself in somebody else's position and be empathetic in their situation. It's just like imagine yourself in their situation. You can take on that feeling and that pain. Like I didn't want to cause anybody any pain because I felt so much pain that I just wanted to take it on. I wanted to take everybody else's on because I already had that pain. So that was just a natural, like, I'm not gonna eat out. I'm not gonna do this anymore.
Yeah.
So for me, it's super personal and it's super, like, it's foundation. It's my foundation. It will never waver.
Yeah.
And I choose to take the skills that I have to show other people that what's possible in the kitchen. I want to help train chefs. I've been training chefs for a long time.
So when you were prepping people to cook plant-based food at Whole Foods and you were saying teaching people and you were saying that you were plant-based then you weren't vegan, do you mean you actually were vegan but you were saying you weren't? One
of my jobs was to travel around and cater all the leadership meetings. I worked with all the suppliers, but I also trained all the in-store and regional chefs how to cook plant-based. It took some learning from me. Like I had to really do it in order to teach it.
Yeah, such a change from your normal cooking with all the heavy butters and creams to then go. It must have been such a change because that was actually one of my questions really, like changing your cooking techniques from cooking meat for so long to then plant-based.
Well, that was part of it, but I had 4 years practice before in the monastery where that was vegetarian and vegan. So that was cooking with whole grains, greens, beans, grains. I hated it in the beginning, but then you start to learn how to just take it as a blank canvas and really force flavor into it.
So the next step for you in your journey with veganism was Wicked Kitchen. Was that in 2018 did it launch?
Wicked Kitchen, 2018 we launched.
Yeah.
2017 I was brought over by Tesco.
Yeah, and that's with Chad, and you had all the books, and was that the YouTube channel?
The book didn't launch until 2018 as well.
So that's
but
when
we
the brand
did launch the YouTube back then. Yeah, it's been a while now for YouTube, and now I'm just ramping back up.
Yeah. How did Tesco kind of hear about you to reach out and get you to launch?
Honestly, it was a headhunter who would call me. I didn't want to move back to Austin. I had moved to Portland, Oregon, and I didn't want to move back, so then I was let go. We wrote our cookbook. I learned how to bake sourdough bread for that year. I trained 2 squirrels, Mildred and Hank.
The squirrels, oh my gosh, incredible.
So
I love those videos.
And the first day I got out of the job, because I was the global chef at Whole Foods Market back then, I left and I went vegan that day, the next day.
But then things changed because then you were allowed to launch your whole vegan brand. And that's great because for the UK, it was the first supermarket vegan brand. So you paved the way really, because now they're everywhere, which is great.
I really feel like if you look at the UK and you look at the US, I think the UK is much further ahead on the vegan plant-based food journey. But to get it into a mainstream grocery retail was huge.
Obviously, I guess in this industry, it's almost like competition is kind of good in the vegan industry. You kind of want that because you're all in it for the right reasons, right? You're in it because you want to bring more plant-based food to people. So I feel like as a plant-based brand, you're kind of like, competition.
Yeah, in the beginning,
have more,
that's right. Yeah, exactly.
But then it gets to the point when it becomes oversaturated, right?
Which I feel like it is now. And now it's such with the inflation and cost of living, there's no more funding out there. So a lot of brands are either going to have to merge together or get acquired or go out of business.
And we've seen with Wicked, excitingly, since obviously Tesco launched in the US, and Wicked's had some merging with, Wicked has taken on,
we took over Good Catch, and now we just acquired Current Foods, so they make that awesome smoked salmon.
Frankie likes the salmon.
Yeah.
The salmon's really good, Frankie, I've had it. But yeah, so Wicked's growing.
I think all the brands are growing.
Yeah.
You'll start to see Wicked expanded into, like, we're in Booker's now, so now we're available for food service. We have 14 items there, which is
14.
Awesome. Yeah, from sticky toffee puddings to ice cream to the sausages to the jalapeno burgers to pies to croissants to chocolate croissants, like things that we don't sell in Tesco.
I remember before, whilst I was still working at Wicked, I came to that taster day and had those chocolate. They were really good. So you obviously was talking about how you headed up plant-based innovation at Tesco. That was such a big job for so many years. Did you do it for 6 years?
6 years,
6 years.
And I just left this past February.
And you've just left this past February. Yeah. How have you found it? That's firstly a massive change, And what made you make that decision to leave?
Yeah, it was great. I took a short sabbatical and went to, I traveled to Nepal. I've always wanted to go to Nepal. Frankie, what are you doing?
Frankie just wants to be involved.
She gets all anxious with the plane. But I went to Nepal and spoke at some vegan events in Nepal, and then went to Thailand and took a cooking course because I wanted to do a cooking course for so long and learn Thai food. And then went to America and visited some friends and went to the monastery that I used to live in and saw my brother in Austin. And then, I've just been now just learning the ways of YouTube.
And obviously we were talking about Frankie and spending time with her and cooking.
Yeah, which allows me to do that,
Yeah. My partner and I spoke about this, Cal, in a recent episode of Supper Surfing. I was kind of having a conversation whether am I a hypocrite because I'm vegan and so passionate about it. However, I will buy meat for my dog. I'll buy her meaty chews and treats, and I have tried to feed her vegan food and she just turned her nose up at it. She's really fussy. I wondered what your opinion is and how Frankie eats and what you would have to say about that.
Yeah, well, she's a dog, but I swear if somebody else hands her a piece of treat that's not vegan, then she's not vegan, right?
Yeah.
So if she's a dog, she'll eat whatever, especially she's a lab. She lives for food.
Yeah.
So I do my best. I buy just not regular dog food, but like organic dog food. But I feed her veggies every single meal. She has frozen mixed veg and frozen peas in the evening.
Oh, frozen peas.
Mixed in with, right? Sometimes I'll make her special vegan meals, like sweet potatoes. I did a video of just making her, how to make her certain treats, but she eats regular dog food.
Yeah. And do you just like disassociate yourself from it? Like,
I just don't think about it. I'm not eating it.
Yeah.
No, I'm not eating it, yeah. Because I get that question a lot. Is Frankie vegan? Do I feel? Yeah, I would love to. Part-time she is.
Yep.
But it's also, she's a dog.
Yep. So, a big question on everyone's lips is how you do the
I don't even have.
How do you play the tongs? It's giving me like Spanish castanet vibes.
Get 'em? So tongs. It just takes. It's a regular pair of tongs.
It's the regular pair of tongs.
So it's the one that doesn't have the thing in the middle.
Okay.
Like these are just chef tongs.
Oh yeah, it doesn't have the thing that like makes them close.
Exactly, right. So, but I grew up with these since I was a kid. I've always, if you're a cook on a line, you have a pair of tongs in your hand and a towel or something to grab things hot and tongs. But just.
So you've been cooking as like from a really young age?
Since I was like 12 or 13, yeah.
You've always been passionate about it.
Prepping and
Wait, so how am I doing this? You just did it.
That's it. I just am here.
It's just as simple as.
It's nothing special.
No, but how are you doing? You're gonna have to do a like full-blown tutorial on YouTube for this, because everyone wants to. Everyone wants to be able to do it. It's just so cool. Like in your cooking video, it's just like, like.
I've never learned how to play an instrument, so this is the only thing I know how to play.
I think that's good enough as an instrument. And how are mushrooms so meaty?
Mushrooms are the ones that we had, like those.
That was ridiculous.
Pepper steaks. Oh, amazing. I don't know, but I find that lion's mane and like the ones that most grocery stores don't sell, except Tesco does sell the oyster mushrooms now.
I've seen them in the packets.
Yeah, we got those in there.
They
which
used
is
to be
amazing.
Wicked branding, didn't they?
They used to be in the beginning, yeah, and then they went into Finest. But also, we're also the next project that's happening soon from when I was at Tesco is we converted a chicken farm into a mushroom farm, which is going to come out probably in the end of the summer.
I was going to ask you about that, and I didn't know if it was a secret.
We've been putting together the documentary for it.
I'm
like a
so
very
excited
short
to
thing.
see that.
That's going to be amazing. But
And what's next for Derek?
For me, I don't know. I'm just going to keep plugging away and cooking, and we'll see what happens, you know. I honestly don't know. I don't have any set goals other than I want to learn how to edit. I want to learn how to film. You know, if there's anybody out there that wants to help me.
Anyone, help me, please.
I'm just taking online courses now, doing that, and just cooking, because now I can just. I'm not limited. There's no limit. There's no thumbs on me. I can just cook, and that's when I feel like I'm at my best when I do that.
Right.
But we'll see.